Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to Yarn and Pajamas. Today is day number 6 of Vlogmas and I have my day number 6 gift here that I done a swap with Summer and we done an Advent style. And if you'll notice, I'm in a new location. So I came down for the weekend to stay with my sister, and this is her pretty Christmas tree. And if you guys can see that big white blob back there, that's her covering up her mess because she says she didn't want you guys to see her mess. So she covered it with a pretty blanket. But here is day number 6. It is in this thing. I already opened the, ooh, look here. So we've got this little wooden sign that says, "Life is short, eat the Christmas cookies." I agree. Life is short, eat the cookies. And then this one, oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. It says, "Autumn leaves and pumpkins, please." I love pumpkins and little dogs. Look at it. Thank you very much, Summer. I will be putting this one up with my fall decorations, and then I will set this one out in my house. Okay, so I did bring my book, The Magic of Christmas Miracles, here. And tonight we had a little help on picking the story out. My nephew picked out the story that we're going to read tonight. And it's called The First American Christmas. So I'm going to take off my glasses so I can see. And so here we go. The Christmas lights made the wet streets of Los Angeles glow with color, but they couldn't lift our gloomy mood. Cold and tired, my wife and I went from store to store in the light drizzle looking for an inexpensive watch for our 9-year-old son. It was the night before Christmas in 1955, just a few short months after we immigrated to this country. We barely had enough money for food, but Billy talked about nothing but a watch for Christmas. We soon realized that the extra $10 we had set aside for his present would not be enough. Passing a dimly lit jewelry store on our way back to the bus stop, we decided to give it one more try. The elderly proprietor eagerly showed us his wares, but even his cut-rate prices were too high for us. Moving the shiny merchandise back and forth on the counter, the owner noticed my foreign-made watch. He perked up when I told him I had bought it in Austria. "Hey, Joey," he called toward the rear of the store. "Have you ever seen a Zenith self-winder watch overseas?" From behind the threadbare curtain appeared a young man in his late 20s. He had a broken watch in one hand, while with the other he pushed the watchmaker's magnifying glass he wore on his forehead up all of the way. Without even looking up at me, he bent over the counter and focused on my watch. "Do you still like to read Zane Grey?" my wife asked him quietly. Joe's head popped up. His eyes widened with recognition. "My God, Pia, Gus, what are you doing here? When did you guys come over?" The words came tumbling out of his mouth. He could not believe what he saw. We had met Joe in Austria when he served in the occupying armed forces after the Second World War. My wife, Pia, and I worked on the army base as civilian employees. She was a librarian, and I ran a hobby shop in the Special Services Club. Joe loved to read westerns by Zane Grey, and whenever a new edition arrived, Pia put it aside for him. We became good friends, and when Joe was shipped back stateside, we thought we would never see each other again. Not in our wildest dreams did Pia and I think that someday we would have a chance to move to America. Yet only 7 years later, we had arrived, flat broke. "So, what are you doing now? How do you like it here?" His questions came one right after the other. Over the next half hour, we told him about our sponsor, our high hopes for a new life in California, and the reality of the long hours and disappointingly low wages that I had found in Los Angeles. This was our first trip downtown, and if I'd known the prices, we would have saved the bus fare. I concluded our story. We were ready to leave, but Joe insisted that we pick out a watch and that he would make us a great deal. Just to go along with him, we chose a small one with a gold face and a silver metal band. With a glance at the price tag and an indiscernible nod from his father, Joe announced that while we were making up our minds, he would go in the back to look for a suitable box. He retreated behind the curtain again, but kept up the conversation, as if to bridge the awkward silence that took the place of our previous lively discussion. Here you go. Give my best to Billy. Joe emerged from the rear of the room and handed us a little gift-wrapped box. We started to object, but he said, "This is your first Christmas in the States, and my dad and I want you to have a merry one. You have no idea what your friendship meant to me when I was overseas." Trying to hold back the tears, we thanked him for the generosity and quietly left the store. Outside, the bell from the Salvation Army sounded a bit more urgent than before, and as my wife and I walked past, I reached down and slipped my $10 bill into the red bucket. On Christmas morning, Billy woke us before daylight to show us the watch he had found under the tree. He mumbled excitedly about the three kings carrying gold, myrrh, and frankincense to Bethlehem, and for a fleeting moment before I drifted off back to sleep again, I thought I could see one of them holding a small gold and silver object in his hands. This was submitted by August Kund from Camarillo, California. Whew. I had a bit of trouble reading tonight. I think it's because I can't see very good over here in this dark corner. So sorry about that. But that was like a really nice story about, like running into someone like all the way from Austria into the new place that you moved to. That was like a little Christmas miracle. Okay, guys. So tell me down below what you thought about this story. And I will see you guys on day number 7. Bye.